Have you ever walked out of someone's house and felt completely drained, as if the life had been sucked right out of you? You sit down, sigh, and wonder, why do I always feel worse after spending time with that person? This isn't just imagination. After the age of 65, when health, energy, and emotional stability matter more than ever, the people you choose to spend time with can deeply influence your quality of life. Some relationships nourish your soul, while others quietly chip away at your health, your happiness, and even your longevity. In this story, we'll follow two old friends, Charles and Leonard. Both in their late 60s, they started to notice the powerful effect that different people had on their energy and mood. Charles chose wisely, while Leonard, well, let's just say his choices left him tired, frustrated, and sometimes even sick. Today we'll uncover the 4 kinds of people you should think twice about visiting after 65, and more importantly, what to do instead to protect your mind, body, and spirit. As you listen, pay attention to which type of person sounds familiar in your own life. At the end, share that number in the comments, and if you strongly agree with number 3, write 3 below. I'll be watching to see how many of you feel the same way. Chapter 1: The Endless Complainer. Charles and Leonard had a neighbor named George. George was the type of man who always had something negative to say. The weather was too hot, the food was too cold, the government was always failing. Every conversation turned into a storm of complaints. At first, Leonard thought listening was just being polite, but after an hour with George, Leonard always felt drained and irritated. His blood pressure even spiked. Meanwhile, Charles started to excuse himself politely. He realized that at his age, peace of mind was more valuable than nodding along to negativity. Warning sign number 1: the endless complainer. Spending too much time with chronic complainers can increase stress, raise cortisol levels, and even affect heart health. Studies show that constant exposure to negativity can worsen depression and anxiety, especially in older adults. Practical tip: limit time with chronic complainers. If you must listen, redirect the conversation. That sounds tough. What's something good that happened today? Protect your mental space the same way you protect your home from bad weather. So ask yourself, do you have a George in your life? Chapter 2: The Energy Drainer. Every Wednesday, Leonard visited his cousin, Martha. Martha never asked about his life, never smiled, never gave back. Instead, she expected Leonard to listen, solve her problems, and carry her burdens. By the time he got home, Leonard was exhausted, not from physical work, but from the emotional weight. Charles, on the other hand, chose to spend his afternoons with a group of old classmates who laughed, shared stories, and encouraged each other. He came home energized, not empty. Warning sign number 2: the energy drainer. Some people don't necessarily complain, but they leave you feeling heavy. Psychologists call them emotional vampires. At an older age, when your energy reserves are precious, spending too much time with such people can quietly harm your health. Practical tip: notice how you feel after seeing someone. If you feel worse, that's a sign. Set boundaries. I'd love to see you, but I only have an hour today. Surround yourself with people who give as much as they take. Remember, the right company can add years to your life. The wrong company can steal them. Chapter 3: The Conflict Starter. Charles once joined Leonard at a family gathering. Within minutes, Leonard's brother-in-law began raising his voice about politics, criticizing everyone's choices, and turning the room tense. Leonard tried to argue back, and soon his face was red, his voice sharp, and his stress through the roof. Charles stayed quiet and left early. Later he said, "Leonard, at our age, arguments are like poison. They heat the blood and cloud the mind. Why waste time fighting when we could spend it laughing?" Warning sign number 3: the conflict starter. Some people thrive on arguments. They enjoy debate, confrontation, or stirring tension. But for seniors, constant conflict isn't just unpleasant.
It can raise blood pressure, weaken the immune system, and increase the risk of heart problems. Practical tip: avoid people who constantly pull you into arguments. If you can't avoid them, say family members, set limits. I don't want to talk about this topic. Focus your energy on peace, not conflict. If you agree that conflict starters are the most dangerous to be around after 65, type the number 3 in the comments below. Let's see how many of you feel the same way. Chapter 4: The Secretly Toxic Friend. Charles had an old friend named Henry. They had known each other since childhood. But Henry had a habit. He mocked Leonard's forgetfulness, made jokes about his health, and dismissed his opinions. Leonard laughed along, but inside he felt small. Charles watched and finally said, "Leonard, friends should lift you up, not tear you down."
Warning sign number 4: the secretly toxic friend. Toxicity isn't always obvious. Sometimes it hides under jokes, sarcasm, or backhanded compliments. But the effect is the same. You leave feeling worse about yourself. And over time, that damages self-esteem, mood, and even motivation to stay active and healthy. Practical tip: pay attention. Do you feel respected after spending time with someone? Choose friends who honor your dignity, not those who diminish it. Remember, it's never too late to make new, healthier friendships. Chapter 5: Choosing Wisely After 65. Charles and Leonard's experiences show a powerful truth. After 65, health isn't only about exercise, food, or medicine. It's also about relationships. Charles thrived because he chose uplifting company. He spent time with positive friends, caring neighbors, and supportive family. He laughed often, felt valued, and lived with calm energy. Leonard, on the other hand, grew weary. His blood pressure rose, his sleep worsened, and his mood darkened. Eventually, he realized that the people he visited were shaping his health more than the vitamins he took. Science supports this. Strong, positive social connections are linked to longer life, better immunity, sharper memory, and lower risk of chronic disease. Meanwhile, toxic relationships shorten lifespan and weaken resilience. Chapter 6: The Call to Action. So, seniors, beware. After 65, the company you keep matters more than you think. Here are the 4 kinds of people to watch out for. 1. The endless complainer. 2. The energy drainer. 3. The conflict starter. 4. The secretly toxic friend. Now it's your turn. Which of these sounded most familiar to you? Pick one and write the number in the comments below. And if you agree with number 3, the conflict starter, type 3 right now. I want to see how many of you have felt that same truth in your own life. And remember, this isn't about cutting everyone off. It's about protecting your precious years, your energy, and your joy. Replace draining company with people who lift you up. Spend your time with those who laugh, who care, who encourage. Because at this stage of life, every moment counts. If this story opened your eyes, hit the like button and subscribe for more weekly tips on healthy aging, longevity, and the little daily choices that make a big difference. After all, aging well isn't just about living longer, it's about living better with peace, strength, and good company by your side.